known as Deborah Henson-Conant, also known as DHC. And I am here because I have just released a new piece of sheet music, and it's a really unusual project. It was done together with a team of harpists from around the globe. It is a solo harp transcription of the second movement of my concerto Sognando. And we wanted to release it because who has an orchestra to play with these days? I mean, not all the time. So we wanted to create a way for any harpist in the world to be able to play this piece. Now, currently it is for pedal harp, and we're working on a lever harp version of it. But I just want to release it today. I want to tell you about it. We are looking for the first 50 harpists in the world to play this piece. It is a challenge for me to have the first 50 people play it by August 20th. You don't have to play the whole piece. The project and the challenge is to have the first 50 people play at least 15 to 30 seconds of it. So you get the music and then you will play it and find the part that you love. And let me just show you what the piece is like. So one of the things I want to show you is I'm going to show you a recent recording of this piece by Evelyn Huber and the Salzburg Philharmonic. And I want to check this audio. It may not sound so great here, but I can give you a link to it. So I'm just going to share my screen so that you can see what this looks like, what this sounds like when it's with symphony orchestra. And then what we've done is create a solo transcription of it. So this is Evelyn Huber's version of it. And I'm going to give you, because the sound is going to be a little bit weird through my computer. So I think I can also put in the chat, and I hope you'll get it, a link to hear this video. So this is the orchestral version of this piece. I'm just going to play you a little bit of it. Just the theme. So that is the solo version of it. And I'm going to give, that is the orchestral version of this piece. It's part of the full concerto that has 3 movements, and the third movement is Baroque flamenco. So this is actually a companion piece to Baroque flamenco. So what you just heard was the orchestral version of this, and what we have just released and what we are looking for the first 50 harpists to play is the solo transcription. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of that. But before I do, I'm also going to put a link in the chat again. Oh, Facebook user, I want to play it. Good. We are right now. Okay, great. Yes. Oh, Moritsky. Yes, Bex Moritsky. Absolutely. You are actually on my personal invitation list, and you shall play it. If you don't hear from me in a couple days, make sure that you reach out to me, because you and one of the reasons that I'm picking on Bex Moritsky is because she is one of the few people who has actually played this with a symphony orchestra. So you realize why it's so great to finally have a solo transcription of it, so that you can play it all the time, even whether you have a symphony or not. So let me show you guys what just to show you what we've done in terms of the sheet music here. Let me pull up the sheet music. So this is for solo pedal harp. We are also working on a version for lever harp, which I'll actually show you the beginning of. I didn't think it was possible, but it was requested. The creative team for this project the adapters, Eleanor Turner, Verena Jochum, Sally Wallstrom, they were the ones who came up with this new transcription using what I had written and then adding on to it. And then Jason McKinney, also a harp player, and he was the music copyist. Helene Vandeput was the very first reader, and Mary Robinson was the copy editor, and Temi Hallen was the coordinator of this project. And those are all harp players. So this is a all harp project. It's part of Soñando en Español, and I'm just showing you the beginning here. This is the story about how this all happened, but let me just show you the sheet music. So this is what it looks like. And it's really unusual in that I'll play just a little bit of it in that this is the solo part of the orchestral version, but later on, there are places where both Verena and Sally were transcribing the orchestral version. And they each came up with slightly different ways to do that. And so we shared those two ways. You can see there's option A here and option B here. And they're both really beautiful. They're just different interpretations of the music. And so you get to have that when you have this transcription. But let me show you, let me just give you a little bit of what it sounds like. Again, this is not for lever harp, but I'll just play you a little bit of it. Of what we're working on for lever harp. So it's like this. And in case you don't need to be looking at the music, let me take that away for a minute. And let me just play you a little bit of what this piece sounds like. Okay, so what this piece sounds like, I'll play that again. It's got an introduction, and that introduction is like this. Whoa, did I say it was hard? So it is not an easy piece to play, but it is a beautiful piece to play. It is theoretically for pedal harp. I mean, it is definitely for pedal harp. We're working on a lever harp version of it as well. And what we're doing is we're looking for the first 50 players. These first 50 players will look at the music. You'll decide which part you want to play. You can play, everyone can play the same part. I just want it into the hands of 50 harpists. And then you will make a video, 15 seconds to, a minute or so, and then we'll be able to share that. The project is called Into the Hands of Harpists. And the outcome or the intention of the project is to, this has been my intention, for years, which is when I was playing with symphony orchestra, when I was first learning how to play, and I started as an adult, and I remember sitting in the back of the orchestra playing Mozartiana or something like that, and I was like, no, the harp should not be in the back of the orchestra. The harp needs to be in the front of the orchestra, leading and being the voice of romance and the voice of power and the voice of rhythm, and the music was not there to play the concertos. The kind of music that I wanted to play wasn't there. And so I made a commitment there and then that I would create this music. And I did. And that's how I got a Grammy nomination. And that is how I have played with, scores and scores of symphony orchestras by writing this music. But all along, my intention was to write it for other harpists to play, because I love hearing other people's interpretation of my music. And because it is time for us to have, so that it's not an orchestra saying, yeah, well, we had harp like 2 years ago. So, it's like orchestras should be, harp soloists should be with orchestras, or chamber ensemble, I can't even say it, orchestras and chamber ensembles, and have music that really allows us to express every single part of us. And that's what I'm committed to, is to creating that music and making that music available. But as you may or may not know, I did not grow up reading and writing music. So I was basically illiterate, meaning I can play stuff, but I didn't know how to write. And that's why I have been working with an amazing team to make the music readable and playable and publishable. If you're in the UK, you can actually get copies of it from Creighton Collections. And if you are anywhere in the world, just make sure that you comment on here, or you can use my Ask a Question. I put a link to the Ask a Question form so that you can let me know if you want to be one of those first 50 harp players play this. So that's what I wanted to come on and say. And in the next few weeks, I'm going to be inviting other members of the team on so we can look at different sections of the piece. By the way, if you're one of the first 50 players, you don't have to play the whole piece. I just want it in your hands. I want to know that you're going to be playing it. And then you'll be sharing anywhere from 15 seconds to a minute of it. And we'll put it on the page with the music. It is really, really beautiful. It is beautiful, and I can barely play it. It's a beautiful piece. It's got a really beautiful cadenza. It is the most romantic piece that I have ever written. If you read the program notes, you'll see that I wrote it when I was first falling in love, and I wrote it originally as a double harp concerto to play with Mercedes Gomez, an amazing harpist and a beautiful friend who's in Mexico. And that's why it's called MERCEDITAS. And both she and I had just fallen in love she with the man that she married, and me with the man that I lived with for many years. And so I wrote this as a way for us to express that love. And so now it's available for the whole world. The other thing is if you're already playing Baroque flamenco, one of the powerful things about this piece is that it is very classically oriented. So it's a beautiful bridge piece to take an audience from what they think of as harp music into the extended techniques of Baroque flamenco. So it fits together with that piece. And then eventually there's also a third movement, and we're working on a solo version of that too. And that's called My Mother's Mexican Hat. So it's a story piece. It's a 3-movement concerto. It can be done with chamber ensemble. And now we're working on the solo version. And that is it. Great. So Bex, definitely I'll look forward to hearing from you. And Bex is saying, oh, I'm going to close this thing, is saying all of that is why Baroque flamenco is my favorite piece to play. Great. So then we will expand this, so you'll be able to play Merceditas and then Baroque flamenco. And Nuno says, can I give this link to my friend? Absolutely. Just have them reach out to me so I can give them a link to the page where the music is. And Tiny Comedian, I would love to learn. I don't know if you're playing lever harp or pedal harp. We're still working on the lever harp version of it. But I'm hoping to have that done in the next week or so. And this project, you have to get the video to me by August 20th. Again, tiny video. All right. So this was just saying hello, letting you know what's happening so that you can let me know if you want to be part of it. And I'll be reaching out more to let you know more about this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to be sharing this. And I'll talk to you soon, Bex. Okay. Bye.